spy on Dodi and Diana during their trip by bugging their phones, all the satellites, all the mobile, know where they are, find everywhere, every step.
For a long time, I just refused to accept that she was gone.
She wants them to be happy, and she must have looked at me and thought, you poor little sausage. You know, it's about time you got married.
The British royal family has dropped a stunning announcement that could change everything we thought we knew about them. Reports suggest a massive shakeup within the palace, with shocking decisions challenging age-old traditions. What could this mean for the future of the monarchy? Let us uncover the truth behind this royal storm that will cause a civil war in the UK. The announcement that shook the royal family. The announcement didn't just cause a ripple, it caused a storm. Reports suggest that internal disagreements among family members have led to public cracks in the carefully curated royal image. For decades, the British monarchy has been synonymous with tradition, duty, and discretion. However, this new revelation is challenging those perceptions, shining a light on the internal conflicts that many believed were buried with the past. It seems the shadows of history are hard to shake, particularly when they involve a figure as iconic as Diana. Before we delve into this, it's clear that the announcement carries far more weight than anyone expected, and this won't be the last revelation to shake the royal family to its core. Born on July 1st, 1961, Diana Spencer grew up in a world of privilege, but her life was far from perfect. Shy and unassuming, she met Prince Charles through her older sister Sarah, who briefly dated him. The relationship between Charles and Diana began in 1980 when she was just 19 and he was 32. Their age difference raised eyebrows, but the romance seemed to blossom quickly. The public was captivated, yet Diana's unease was evident from the start. One major source of tension was Charles's lingering feelings for Camilla Parker Bowles. Even before their wedding, she suspected that she was not his first choice. These doubts only grew after Charles made a shocking statement during their engagement interview. When asked if he loved her, his vague reply, "Whatever love means," left her feeling uncertain. Despite her concerns, the wedding went ahead on July 29, 1981, at St. Paul's Cathedral in London. Dubbed the Wedding of the Century, the event was broadcast to an audience of over 750 million people worldwide. Her ivory silk gown with its 25-foot train became a symbol of fairy tale romance. But behind the grandeur, cracks were already forming. The newlyweds' relationship quickly became strained, with her struggling to adapt to royal life while grappling with the knowledge of Charles's ongoing connection to Camilla. As the years passed, her unhappiness grew. She revealed in interviews how isolated and neglected she felt, describing moments of desperation that painted a bleak picture of her life behind palace doors. One harrowing incident occurred while she was pregnant with Prince William. In a moment of emotional distress, she threw herself down the stairs at Sandringham. Though the baby was unharmed, the event highlighted her deep feelings of loneliness and frustration. Charles's affair with Camilla was an open book that added immense strain to their marriage. In her infamous 1995 Panorama interview, she candidly spoke about the betrayal, stating, "There were 3 of us in this marriage." Her words resonated with millions, exposing the harsh reality behind the fairy tale facade. Despite her personal struggles, she found solace in her public duties. Her charitable work earned her admiration worldwide, but the praise did little to ease her pain at home. By 1992, she and Charles had formally separated, and their divorce was finalized in 1996. During this period, she became increasingly vocal about her experiences, breaking the unspoken rule of royal silence. Her willingness to speak out marked a turning point, both for her and for the monarchy. While the royal family maintained its traditional stoicism, her openness highlighted the emotional toll of their rigid expectations. Her tragic death in a car crash in 1997 sent shockwaves around the globe. Her untimely passing not only devastated her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, but also left a lasting mark on the monarchy. Public grief turned into public outrage as questions arose about the circumstances of her death. Was it merely a tragic accident, or was there something more sinister at play? To this day, theories and speculation continue to surround the events of that fateful night in Paris. Fast forward to the present, and the royal family's latest announcement has reignited interest in her story. The parallels between past and present are hard to ignore. Just as she struggled to carve out her own identity within the confines of royal expectations, several current royals appear to be facing similar challenges. The younger generation in particular seems intent on redefining what it means to be a modern royal. Her early struggles and her tragic death reveal a story that still leaves people searching for answers about what really happened that night. The crash that stopped the world. This new era of royal upheaval raises important questions about the institution's future. Can the monarchy survive in its traditional form, or will it need to adapt to stay relevant in a rapidly changing world? The revelations coming from within the palace suggest that change is not just inevitable, but already underway. Whether this transformation will strengthen the monarchy or lead to its downfall remains to be seen. Charles's strong connection with Camilla left a permanent mark on his marriage, and when his divorce was finalized, it was clear there was no going back. She came to terms with the painful truth that she could never win his heart. Their tumultuous relationship had left deep emotional scars, but it also gave her a newfound strength. With her focus shifting to raising her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, and dedicating herself to humanitarian work, she found purpose. Her tireless efforts made her beloved worldwide, earning her the title of the People's Princess. However, fame came with a heavy price. The constant presence of photographers turned her life into a public spectacle, leading to a tragic turn of events on that fateful night in Paris. She and Dodi Fayed, her romantic partner, were staying at the Ritz Hotel owned by Dodi's father. Hoping to escape the relentless paparazzi, they attempted to leave quietly through the back door. Despite their efforts to avoid attention, the photographers soon caught on and pursued them with alarming aggression. As their car sped through the streets of Paris, the situation escalated dangerously. The chase culminated in the Alma Tunnel, where their black Mercedes, driven by Henri Paul, crashed into a pillar at an estimated speed of 65 miles per hour. The impact was devastating. Dodi and Henri Paul were eliminated instantly, while she suffered critical injuries. Emergency responders rushed her to the Pitié-Salpêtrière hospital, but despite their efforts, she passed away hours later. The sole survivor, bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones, endured severe injuries and a long recovery. The aftermath of the crash was filled with shock, grief, and anger. Investigations revealed that Henri Paul had been under the influence of alcohol, with his blood alcohol level 3 times over the legal limit. Compounding the tragedy, it was discovered that none of the passengers, except for Rees-Jones, were wearing seatbelts, significantly reducing their chances of survival. These revelations left the world grappling with questions about responsibility and accountability. Her death sent shockwaves around the globe. Her beauty, grace, and genuine kindness had made her a symbol of hope and compassion. Her efforts to connect with everyday people and advocate for humanitarian causes set her apart from other public figures. Millions mourned her loss, feeling an immense void left by her sudden passing. Anger was also directed at the paparazzi, whose relentless pursuit was seen as a significant factor in the tragedy. The tragedy prompted a global conversation about the ethics of media practices and the treatment of public figures. Should the pursuit of a story come at the cost of someone's safety and privacy? These questions lingered, but the grief over her death overshadowed any meaningful resolution. Her loss was felt most deeply by those closest to her, including her trusted confidant and butler Paul Burrell. Paul Burrell had spent over a decade by her side, developing a bond that went beyond the typical employer-employee relationship. Born into a working-class family in Derbyshire, England, Burrell had dreamed of serving the royal family from a young age. That dream became a reality when he joined Buckingham Palace as a footman at 18. His dedication and professionalism quickly earned him a position as her personal butler and later her assistant. Over the years, Burrell became one of her most trusted allies. He supported her through the intense pressures of royal life, offering a shoulder to lean on during her most challenging moments. Whether dealing with relentless media scrutiny or focusing on her charitable endeavors, she relied on Burrell for unwavering support. His admiration for her was evident, as he often spoke about her compassion and dedication to helping others. After she was gone, the people closest to her worked hard to protect her memory, facing tough challenges along the way. The butler who refused to stay silent. When news of her death reached Burrell, it shattered him. He was on vacation in Italy when he received the devastating call, and the sadness consumed him. He had spent so many years by her side, witnessing her struggles and triumphs, that her loss felt deeply personal. Over time, Burrell found ways to honor her memory, sharing stories of her kindness and resilience through books like A Royal Duty and The Way We Were. Yet Burrell's decision to share personal details about her life was met with criticism, particularly from the royal family. Some viewed his actions as a betrayal, accusing him of exploiting her legacy. These controversies highlighted the complexities of mourning a public figure whose life was both deeply personal and intensely scrutinized by the world. In the years following her death, her influence remained profound. Her legacy lived on through her sons, who carried forward her commitment to charity and public service. Prince William and Prince Harry's dedication to causes like mental health awareness and veteran support reflected their mother's values. Her humanitarian work, particularly her efforts to combat landmines and support HIV/AIDS patients, continued to inspire people globally. Despite the passage of time, the circumstances surrounding her death remained a topic of fascination and speculation. Conspiracy theories emerged, questioning the role of the paparazzi, the actions of the royal family, and even the involvement of intelligence agencies. While investigations repeatedly concluded that the crash was a tragic accident fueled by reckless driving and poor decisions, doubts lingered in the minds of many. Following her death, events began to spiral. In 2002, Burrell faced serious accusations of theft, with prosecutors alleging he had taken over 30,000 items from her estate. These items included personal letters, photographs, clothing, and valuable gifts. A police search of his home revealed many of these belongings, leading to his arrest and charges of theft. The possibility of a lengthy prison sentence loomed over him, and the media frenzy that ensued turned the case into a spectacle. People began questioning Burrell's motives, with some accusing him of exploiting her legacy for personal gain. Throughout the trial, Burrell maintained his innocence, insisting that the items in question were not stolen. According to him, she had personally asked him to safeguard these possessions, fearing they might be misused after her death. He claimed to have acted on her instructions, protecting her legacy and ensuring her personal effects remained safe. However, without concrete evidence to back his claims, his defense initially appeared weak. The court proceedings attracted global attention, with every detail of the case scrutinized by the media. The turning point came in November 2002 when Queen Elizabeth II unexpectedly intervened. She revealed that Burrell had informed her he was keeping some of these belongings after her death. This revelation, which had not been disclosed earlier in the trial, changed everything. The Queen's statement effectively confirmed that Burrell's actions were not entirely unauthorized, undermining the prosecution's arguments. As a result, the charges against Burrell were dropped, and the trial came to an abrupt end. Burrell's story, tied to Diana's life, brings up new questions about loyalty and truth, keeping the royal family in the spotlight again. The legacy of a princess lives on despite the scandals. Despite his acquittal, the damage to Burrell's reputation was done. Public opinion remained divided, with many questioning his true intentions. Was he a loyal confidant preserving her memory, or was he using her legacy to stay relevant? The royal family's private lives were thrust further into the spotlight, and the case highlighted the immense influence they could wield in legal matters. The trial's sudden conclusion, spurred by the Queen's intervention, left lingering doubts and fueled ongoing debates about the fairness of the proceedings. Following the trial, Burrell chose to share his version of events with the public, selling his story to a newspaper for a significant sum. This move attracted both criticism and support, with some viewing it as an act of betrayal and others seeing it as his way of defending himself. Unlike other royal staff members who had faced similar accusations but chose to remain silent, Burrell's decision to speak out set him apart. His actions reignited discussions about how cases involving royal staff were handled and led to an internal review aimed at improving legal procedures in such matters. Even after the trial, Burrell continued to be associated with Diana's legacy. He wrote books and gave interviews sharing intimate details about her life and death. He claimed that Diana had confided in him about her fears in the months leading up to her fatal car crash in Paris. According to Burrell, she believed powerful individuals were plotting against her due to her outspoken views and humanitarian work. He alleged that Diana had even written a letter expressing her concerns about a staged car accident designed to eliminate her. These claims reignited speculation about the circumstances surrounding Diana's death. While official investigations concluded that the crash was caused by her driver's negligence and the relentless pursuit of paparazzi, Burrell's statements suggested there might be more to the story. His revelations kept the tragic events of that night alive in public memory, fueling debates about whether her death was truly accidental or part of a larger conspiracy. The public's fascination with Diana's life and untimely death ensured that Burrell's claims did not go unnoticed. Some saw him as a guardian of her memory, shedding light on the struggles she faced. Others accused him of exploiting her name for personal gain, questioning the authenticity of his accounts. Regardless of the differing opinions, Burrell's words added another layer of complexity to Diana's story, ensuring her legacy remained a topic of discussion. Diana's impact extended far beyond her royal status. She was known for her compassion and dedication to humanitarian causes, which earned her admiration worldwide. One of her most iconic moments came in 1987 when she shook hands with an HIV-positive patient without wearing gloves. At a time when fear and misinformation about the disease were widespread, this simple yet powerful act challenged stigmas and helped change public perceptions. In 1997, Diana once again demonstrated her courage by walking through an active minefield in Angola. Her involvement in the campaign against landmines brought global attention to the issue and contributed to the signing of the Ottawa Treaty, which banned the use of landmines. These acts of bravery and kindness cemented her legacy as a symbol of hope and humanity, inspiring countless people around the world. Princess Diana's impact is still deeply felt even long after her passing. She didn't just live as a royal, she became a voice for those who were often ignored. Her work with charities and efforts to highlight social issues helped bring attention to causes that society often tried to avoid. Whether it was working with individuals living with illness, shaking hands with patients at a time when others wouldn't, or calling for action in areas of human rights, Diana was fearless in using her position to spark change. Her care and determination touched countless lives, ensuring her memory is more than just history. It is a reminder of the power of compassion. Paul Burrell's connection to Diana has always sparked conversations, and opinions about him are divided. To some, he was her trusted confidant, someone who stood by her and tried to preserve her legacy. To others, his actions, including sharing private details of her struggles and fears, seem more self-serving than protective. These details, while controversial, have kept Diana's life and the events surrounding her untimely passing in the spotlight. Even now, decades later, people are drawn to her story, not just for the sadness of her loss, but for the way she lived, inspiring both admiration and debate. Diana challenged traditions in ways few people dared to at the time, and she did so with kindness and courage. From her humanitarian work to her determination to live life on her terms, she left an imprint on the world that continues to inspire change. Her actions pushed boundaries, forcing society to confront hard truths about inequality, discrimination, and how we treat others. Whether it was speaking out against the dangers of landmines or showing kindness to individuals often marginalized by society, Diana's actions were bold and brave. She was more than a princess. She was a force for good. Is the royal family's shocking announcement just a dramatic shakeup, or does it reveal something deeper, perhaps even hidden truths about their past? Tell us what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.